Hail Satan YouTube. This is once again Damian Lyle Manson, aka Bloodfinger, aka the Mad Cosplayer. Pulling on my beard, putting this fucking mask on my face. I want to let you guys know a little bit of something, but just to give you guys a heads up, I have nothing nice to say about what I'm about to talk about. I have nothing nice to say at all, and if you are easily offended or affected by my choice of words, I guess you want to say, you are free to click off anytime you want. Just a heads up. Look, I have visited a LDS, aka Mormon church in the past, even though I'm devoting my entire life to LaVeyan Satanism. Only reason I visited was because out of curiosity, not because I was talking with missionaries at my house or, shit like that. They did eventually come by the old address that I was staying at before, but I never, let them inside. For obvious reasons. I'm gonna say this flat out. I have nothing nice to say about the Mormon Church. I really have nothing nice to say about it at all. It is a brainwashing, collective cult that feeds off of the wealthy and the poor, and they brainwash people into doing shit they shouldn't be doing unless you actually follow the actual King James Bible. And let me just point this out, that in the King James Version, I never read it myself, I saw this on YouTube. I could be wrong, bear with me please. From what I was told, that the Mormon priesthood is a lie, and the I shouldn't say holy. The King James Bible says that the Mormon priesthood is a lie. Because when, him up there, when he sent his son down, when he was crucified, the priesthood just stayed with, I'm going to say the name out loud anyway, Jesus stayed with Jesus when he left the earth, when he got crucified. He was like the last and only eternal high priest of his, I guess you want to say, the religion, I guess. And the Melchizedek priesthood, of course, that they believe in so heavily on, was not even passed down to nobody else. From what I was told, Melchizedek was a high priest that was eternal. He wasn't born of man or woman. He was an eternal being. And the Aaronic priesthood was only for the tribe of Levi. I believe is a, forgive me if I get this wrong, but the Hebrew tribe, I believe, was called the Levites, and they were the only people who could also carry on that Aaronic priesthood. So basically, the Mormon priesthood is a big fat fucking lie, and it's the biggest fucking waste of fucking human time and patience and money, and you're wearing that goofy ass white outfit with the green leaf above your, in front of your, midsection. So, I was never made a member of that church, but I do have nothing nice to say about that church. I really don't. They believe in a false doctrine. They call their Book of Mormon Holy Scriptures, and it's not Holy Scriptures at all. It's just a big fat fuck you to the people who believe in that bullshit. It's a fictionalized book that was created by a man who was a convicted con artist, by the way, who just used his imagination. There was literally no evidence of supposed golden tablets or plates, whatever the hell you want to call it. And I did have the desire of some sort to purchase a replica of the golden tablets and just keep my jewelry in that thing. But the problem with the jewelry that I own is like satanic jewelry. I got the Leviathan cross, I got the the Baphomet medallion. It's going to use it for that, but in reality, as a Levian Satanist, I'm not really supposed to keep gold around or wear gold. Like, I don't wear gold anyway. I mean, I did in the past, but it wasn't really something I would do all the time. So, technically, I cannot wear gold as a Levian Satanist, because gold is a representation of the white light religions, and the white light religion that I was a part of before was a Christian sect, but I never actually went to any churches at all. I was originally baptized Lutheran, but I never got baptized again because I'm too big for these. No offense if I call some of these people weak. I'm not saying weak because of their faith. I'm saying they're weak because I'm a giant. So even if I were to be baptized again, it's gonna be hard to push me into the water, then pull me back out because I'm a big ass mofo. Excuse me, I'm trying not to cuss in here. I apologize if I start cussing. One more time, YouTube, I apologize if I start cussing on this video. I apologize in advance. But what I will not apologize to is the absurdity of a Mormon cult trying to fucking indoctrinate me into their fucking bullshit. And in case if you don't believe me, I have this book that they gave me when I was at the church. I believe it was my 8th or 9th time up there when I was up in that Mormon church for services. I have it right here. Hang on one second, YouTube. Now, this book right here proves that I was up at their churches. The Gospel Principles. And yes, it was published. Hang on. It was published by that very same church. And it's absolutely fucking absurd. The priesthood is a lie. It really is a lie. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping the dead. The dead are judged by those two up there, regardless of what I believe. I'm not going to say what my actual beliefs are on here, because that's kind of like something that's personal and private. But I won't get into a little bit of it. I'm a Levian Satanist regardless. And no matter what I believe, I'm going to call myself a Levian Satanist regardless. I follow the teachings of Anton LaVey. And he was a good person, regardless of what Christians and other white light religionists say. Anton LaVey was a good man. He advocated for animal rights and all this other cool stuff. He was a very nice person from what I was told. And there was no deathbed conversion. He was actually unconscious when he passed away. He didn't even say a damn word. So that whole false deathbed hoax thing, not true. Just want to get that out there. I mean, the white light religions can say whatever the hell they want. They can lie however they want. But it was not true. And there are hospital documents that prove it too. I'm sure you can look it up somewhere. Even you can look it up with Meta AI or any other AI program. And they'll tell you the same thing. There are no records of Anton LaVey trying to convert on his freaking deathbed. And I grew up in the Christian church, and I don't believe that you should go to a freaking church to worship and bow to somebody you've never met in your entire fucking life, regardless of what good works he did, allegedly did. Excuse me. I don't believe in the alleged Messiah dying for me. What I do believe is that Anton LaVey wanted to pass down his witchcraft expertise. I'm going to call it witchcraft because I don't know what else to call it. I think I should have called it, darn it, I should have called it the psychodrama. He wanted to pass down his power of some sort when it came to the rituals onto us, so that we can make these manifest in our lives that we want. It's kind of like demigodhood of some sort, but I don't know how to explain it. If you're a Satanist too, don't take it personal how I word things. I'm not trying to insult nobody or anything. It's just that this is how I word stuff. This is how I personally believe and things like that. I believe that Anton LaVey, regardless of his religious position, was trying to pass down his mantle onto people like us. It was all up here in that man's head. And to be honest, I want to try the rituals. I want to wear all black with a black, full head hood during my satanic rituals that I will practice in the future. I'm not going to say what those are, because that's my personal business. And don't get me wrong, but the last person I knew, me and Joe Winkle, by the way, the last person I knew who was talking about the shit they were doing with the magic they were performing, and I'm just going to say it flat out, excuse me. Joe Winkle, the reason he had his demise happen to him was because he kept bragging about his death curses all over the freaking internet. And if he would have kept his fucking mouth shut, he would have never gotten that fucking demise. And I tried to tell him too. Believe me, I tried to fucking tell him. He didn't want to listen. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. And look what happened. He got fucked over by someone who was very mad at him, was very angry. I believe he was cursed. I do believe that somebody casted a death curse on Joe Winkle to make him commit suicide in a horrible fashion, by the way. I saw the video too. Don't get me wrong. It was a horrible way to fucking die. And they were pissed off because he kept confessing his death curses on to others. I mean, if you're going to do a fucking death curse, I'm going to give him an example. Let's say, I'm going to use the name Travis Bundy. No relation, by the way. So let's say Travis Bundy was to cast a destruction curse on, I'm going to give an example, on his ex-girlfriend, who I'm going to say Jane Smith. Maybe Jane Doe. I'm going to call her Jane Doe for now. So if Travis Bundy wants to cast a curse on Jane Doe, let people think it's a fucking coincidence. Don't fucking confess your fucking don't confess this jack shit to anybody on any fucking social media platform. Don't fucking confess. If you're gonna curse somebody, you do the fucking curse and you fucking forget about it. You don't fucking tell people what the fuck you're doing. Because if you tell people what the hell you're doing, somebody's gonna get a fucking reaction out of it, and they're gonna want to put a damn spell on you for doing that spell you did on so and so. But in my personal case, I'm not gonna say what kind of magic I'll be performing, not even on YouTube. But I will say this: if push comes to shove, I'm gonna say it's just a coincidence. But if I'm going to get creative, and let's say I'm Travis Bundy, for example. Let's pretend my name is Travis Bundy and I just did a curse on my ex-girlfriend Jane Doe. And let's pretend that she was, an LDS member. I'll just blame her demise on her own fictitious version of her Lord, Elohim. So one of her friends who may be from the LDS church says, oh, it's a coincidence for what happened to so-and-so. I want to say, blame Elohim for that shit. Or if that person was a JW, I'm going to say Jehovah did it. Jehovah put the curse on that person. Jehovah struck that person down like it was a fucking, military op. You know what I mean? But to be smarter about things like that, just brush it off as a coincidence. Like I used to tell people who do this kind of stuff, and whatever kind of activity, I don't care if it's crime, witchcraft, you do the fucking spell, you cast the fucking spell on the enemy, and you fucking forget about it. You don't fucking tell nobody what the fuck you're doing. You do the spell, or you do the destruction curse, you do the compassion ritual, you do the lost ritual, you get your desires manifest, and you just fucking forget about it. You just fucking forget about it. Okay, tell people it's a fucking coincidence. Just say it's a fucking coincidence. I mean, oh my fucking god. Just say it's a fucking coincidence, people. Just brush it off as a fucking coincidence. Don't fucking tell people what the fuck you're doing. Even if it's hard to keep the secret still. But, out of all seriousness, people, you do the fucking spell. You do the destruction ritual. You do the compassion ritual. You do the lust ritual. You do the fucking ritual and you fucking forget about it. You don't tell nobody on YouTube or any other social media platform at all. You do the job. You do it. You forget about it. You have an enemy. You curse the enemy. The enemy gets K-worded or harmed in any way. You don't tell people that you were the one responsible. Just brush it off as a coincidence or blame it on a fictitious God that ain't fucking truly there. As a former Christian, I'm not gonna say, oh, it was so-and-so, because they are considered real deities. But if I were to be a smart ass about this sort of thing, which I shouldn't be a smart ass about this, I would just say, oh, Jehovah struck that person down, or oh, Elohim struck the person down. If I want to be an asshole, but I'm not going to be an asshole about certain shit, because you just don't fucking do things like that unless you want to be a fucking smart ass. What you can do is just brush it off as a coincidence. Don't tell people you're doing this shit to others. Because somebody's going to listen to what you're saying and they're going to get fucking pissed off and they're going to be fucking you up. With every action, there is a reaction in this world. And I'm not going to talk about Operation Core Horror because that's basically witchcraft. I'm not going to say what kind of witchcraft it is because of, what I just said earlier. But like I said, people, you have your reason, you cast a spell on your enemy, the spell harms the enemy, you do the spell, you forget about it, you don't need to fucking, excuse me, I apologize for the language, you do this, you cast a spell, the spell manifests, you do the spell and you forget about it. And the people want to say it's a coincidence, let them say it's a coincidence, just let them say it. Let them think it's a coincidence. Let them think it. Don't let nobody know what the fuck you're doing. Unless you want to end up like fucking Joe Winko, who, I don't know if he's up there or down there, but anything can happen in this world, people. And when it comes to having welfare benefits or social security benefits, don't tell people you have it. Don't tell people why you have it. Even if you're not that disabled, keep your fucking mouth shut. This lesson today here is just to remind you all that if you're on welfare or social security, don't fucking brag about it on fucking social media or YouTube of any way. Because the people that are out there in the government agencies and the offices, in the social security office, will cut off your benefits. They will completely cut you off from your benefits. So please, people, shut your fucking mouth. If you want to keep your benefits, don't fucking brag about it on fucking YouTube or social media. That's how people lose their freaking benefits. I didn't learn that shit the hard way. I learned from other people's example. And if you're, like I said, if you're on welfare or social security, don't fucking tell people. Don't brag about it on YouTube how, let's say for example, let's use the name Nancy Smith. If you're Nancy Smith and you are not disabled and you're still on welfare benefits, just don't say why, and don't tell people how you got, or don't let people know you have the benefits. Just make an excuse, or just lie, or just don't bring it up at all. I'm not trying to be a fucking commanding military officer. I'm trying to help you guys to be more careful in the future. Because some people just like to fucking sleepwalk through life. Like nothing bad's gonna happen. But when something bad happens, they either gotta fight the person off, stand their ground, or they do nothing and they get hurt for it. I'm just trying to help you all the best as I can. I'm not gonna say what I'm doing in my life because that's my personal business. But what I will say is the lesson here today, people, be careful with your words. Be careful with what you talk about with other people. And if you do cast a spell on your enemy, just brush it off as a coincidence. Just don't question it. Don't say so-and-so up there did it, or don't say Jehovah did it, or don't say Elohim did it, or whoever you may believe out there. Even if you don't practice witchcraft, just even if you weren't practicing magic, even if you don't practice magic, that's fine. But if you're gonna practice witchcraft, you gotta be careful, because if somebody hears that you're practicing freaking destruction magic on people that they might know and possibly may miss, don't fucking confess. Just brush it off as a coincidence. Just say it's a coincidence. Just think it's a coincidence. No, don't even think it's a coincidence. But don't fucking tell people what you're doing. That's how Joe Winkle got killed. I'm gonna let this video go for now because I really gotta take a nap. But I'll speak to you guys again soon. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye now.